Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? My name is Cub and welcome to a brand new series. This is Tekkit Legends, the latest iteration of the Tekkit mod pack from the folks over at technicpack.com, and I'm really excited to be here. Now, if you have not already, maybe you're new to the channel, maybe you've never seen a video before, I've already done 3 episodes called Prelude to Tekkit Legends, in which I did a lot of mining, a lot of collecting materials, and building this nifty little house here. Now, that is not necessary watching, not by any means. If you don't want to watch it, you can completely pass on it. Everything I did there was straight up vanilla. All I did was collect the materials, build the house. I did not touch on any mods whatsoever. The reason being, I wanted to kick this series off, episode 1, get right into the mods, and I'm really excited to do that today. Also, I should go ahead and say, if you want to download this world and play along, I'll put a link in the description to the playlist for this series, and when you get to that playlist, to go to the info, and every link you could possibly want to download the texture pack, the patch, this world, the mod pack, all the links will be there, so I'll just have that one link in the description, and then from the playlist you can find everything. So this is my dog Buttercup. How you doing, buddy? Silence. Oh, there he goes. That's basically him saying hi, and that's the most you're going to get out of him. Now, for this episode, we're going to keep things short and simple. We're not going to look at too many technical things today, although I can guarantee you episode 2, we're going to delve right into ore processing, and it's going to be great. Today, though, I want to show you some things that are going to help you out early game. First of all, you're going to need to build a project table. Now, this thing is amazing. I wish I had built one during my, let's see, project. There it is, right there. Don't get confused with the auto project table, which is also useful, but today we're just looking at the project table. I really wish that I had built one of these during my prelude episodes, but unfortunately, because it is a modded item, I had to save it for this. So take a look at it. The recipe is very simple. You're gonna have all of these items pretty early off. You're gonna need some stone, some planks, and any old planks will work. And it looks like I'm getting a weird loading. What are you doing, computer? There we go. You're also gonna need a crafting table and a chest, all of which can be built pretty simply. Now, let me see if I can remember where I threw things over here. Ah, there we go. We got our wood. We should have some stone in here, because I used quite a bit of stone during the building of this whole place. And what else did I say we needed? Stone. Looks like that's it. Stone and wood. And we might need a few more planks, so we'll go ahead and grab a log. Oh, goodness me. Pick that log up right now. Now, we're going to hop over here and probably take one of these crafting tables, because we don't need 2. Oh, I got stuck back there. The problem is, the way I've built this place, in order to get back there, I'd have to walk all the way around, and I'm not going to do that. We're just going to tear a hole in the wall and get our... There we go. Now, in our crafting grid here, from memory, he said hopefully, we are going to place this here, these across the top. Whoa, goodness, no. These across the top, and these to either side, and build our project table. Now, Cub, what is so great about a project table? Well, as soon as I collect it from back here, I will show you. We're going to throw it down right below this crafting bench that we already had, or this crafting table. Take a look at the project table. First off, you'll see it has its own little inventory, which is cool. So items you use a lot during building, like let's say planks or stone, which I don't really think there are a whole lot of recipes that call for stone, but we'll keep it in there. Look at that. You can store them right there, and then when you come back to build something, they're there waiting on you. It gets even better than that, though. Let's say you start building a recipe. Say I want to build a pick. So I'm going to build some sticks, and then I forgot a material to use. Well, I can back out, walk over here, and let's say we want to use... Oh, you know what? We've already got some, emeralds. Can you build an emerald pick? You can't, but you get the idea. Instead of spitting the sticks out on the floor, it held them inside the table, which is really useful in case you realize you forgot something. And I guess I could have used some sapphire or some ruby. That would have made a whole lot more sense than trying to use emeralds. But yeah, that's the project table. It just makes building things a lot simpler and much easier, and helps you to focus on other things rather than, oh no, what am I going to do? All the stuff's gonna be on the floor. Oh gosh, I really need sticks. Look at that, they're already in there. Real convenient, really suggest that for early game. Next item we're gonna look at is called a barrel. Now, if you've been playing Minecraft for any amount of time, you've most likely played a mod pack that has a barrel. And we're gonna look at the better barrel from Java. Java is just another better barrel attempt, and they do a very good job building a better barrel. And it's really fantastic. And if you haven't used one before, howdy. Today I'm going to be walking you through the process. Now, it looks like we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 logs. Do I have 7? I've got 13. I'm ahead of the game here. Whoa, what just happened there? Some of these things are acting a bit screwy today. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. But if we hop in here, we're going to have to make some, there we go, some oak wood. And we're going to have to make a chest. Oh, that's something else it does too. If you need to, let's say, I don't want to waste anything. But anyway, it'll automatically pull items from down here up here, so you don't have to put like all of these in here to build something. It'll automatically pull them out. And that was a terrible example of how that works. We're just going to ignore it and keep going. So we've got everything we need. So what we can do is we can hit here, and look at that. It automatically pulls all of our items into the project table, and boom, we can build our better barrel. And that's what I mean. See, it automatically pulls up all the things we're going to need to build another one, even though we're missing quite a few of the items. So that can be helpful sometimes. Now we've got a better barrel, and we're going to install it, and we already have a hole here in the wall, so we might as well just plop it down right there, and I'll fill in the hole on top here. And now what do we do with a better barrel? Well, while you're out mining, oh goodness gracious, it's nighttime already. I didn't realize I started so late in the evening. Well, while you're out mining, you want to keep everything you get in this pack. That's because this pack has a little thing called the Equivalent Exchange mod, or actually it has Project E, which is the project to revive the Equivalent Exchange mod, I suppose. And what that does is it adds something called EMC, and pretty much every item in the pack has EMC. For instance, the stone brick has 1, and I think something like redstone has 64, over 16,000 in an emerald. And what you can do is you can convert, using special tools, this emerald into effectively 16,384 pieces of stone if you want to. Now, we're not going to do that. That would be a bit silly, but you could do it if you wanted to. Now, the big advantage here is if for any reason we needed that, we could do that. And that's why, early game, when you're out mining and you're collecting a bunch of stone, and you're like, I don't need this, just throw it away. Don't throw it away. It can be really useful. Take all of your stone. Look, it's not a whole lot, but a stack of stone, that's still worth 64 AMC, so you can make it into something better. And the best place to store all that stone is in a better barrel. So we can right-click to store all of a stack, or we can shift right-click and place an item in front of it, which we don't want to do. So we're just going to store all of our items in here like so. Boom. We've got all of our stone in there, and please excuse the giant better barrel info tag that's popping up blocking the screen. That's a bit annoying. I could shrink that down, but we're not going to. So we've now got, this thing here can hold 64 stacks of 64 items. As you can see, if you just left click, it takes the item back out, and right clicking will put it back in there. If you only need one of the items, shift right clicking can do that. And let's say, if you take a look here, if you empty the whole thing out, the barrel goes blank again. But what if you want to assign this barrel to hold stone? Well, what you do is you put some in there, and then with a free hand, shift right click, and that'll lock it in place. So now if we empty it, even though it's empty, it doesn't revert to an empty barrel. It keeps like a little sign there that says, oh yeah, this is for stone. And it will remember that, so we can fill it back up. And look at that, we are now holding all of our stone in one barrel, and we can use all of that to transmutate later. Speaking of which, that's the next item we're going to build. Now, this one is not going to be something you can just build right off the bat. You're going to have to go there we go. You're going to have to go gather some resources, but this is called a Transmutation Table. There's also a Transmutation Tablet, and oftentimes during a series, I've been known to get these two confused. So if you ever hear me call the Transmutation Table a tablet, please understand, it is most definitely a table, not a tablet, because the tablet is vastly more expensive, but we will get to that later in the series. So what you're going to need here is 4 pieces of obsidian, 4 pieces of stone, and the Philosopher's Stone. Now, the Philosopher's Stone is glowstone, redstone, and a diamond. So like I said, it's not going to be very early game, but it's also not too hard to get hold of. We've already gone to the nether, gotten some glowstone, we've definitely gotten some redstone, we have a diamond, so you can go ahead and create the Philosopher's Stone. And before we build the Transmutation Table with it, I want to show you guys some of the cool stuff you can do with the Philosopher's Stone. So if we open it up and we tap U while hovering over it, it'll show us some uses. So let's say we have a piece of coal and a few pieces of wood. You can actually go ahead and, using the Philosopher's Stone, turn that into charcoal, or turn some quarried stone into quarried blocks, and you can do this with pretty much anything that can be smelted. You can smelt it in a crafting bench using the Philosopher's Stone and a piece of coal or charcoal, which is pretty awesome. Although we're going to have some automated machines to do this kind of stuff here next episode, so we're not going to really look at that. You're also going to need this thing to build interdiction torches, which will push mobs away, which is really cool. They're also incredibly expensive. You can build another, transmutation table, which we're about to get to, and you can also do some other things that aren't advertised there. So let's say we hop outside with it, and we've got some grass out front. If you click the grass with this guy, it'll turn it into sand. So if you need sand for a recipe and all you've got is dirt, you've got sand. And if you shift right click, you can turn it into cobblestone, and then you can turn that cobblestone back into stone, and then you can turn that back into grass. So it's really cool. It's got a lot of potential to it. We're not going to use it for any of those things today, though, because we're going to hop over here and we're going to grab some obsidian and some stone, which hopefully I have enough of. I have a single block of obsidian. I have failed. I have failed everyone. I have failed all of you. I intended to have all of it that I needed, and I failed. But I've got a pickaxe, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a nap, and I'm going to go mine some more obsidian. And thankfully, the obsidian supply I have is not too far away. So let's cut to that. So I just realized that I am in a different world than I started with. Because they added some new mods, I had to reload the world. And so what's happened is I'm actually quite far away from any of the lava that I once knew. There was a lava pull out that direction, but I'm not sure it's there anymore. And I think if we're going to find lava on the surface, it might require us to go on a bit of an adventure. It might require a bit of an adventure, and I'm not sure... Oh, hold on, I think I see some... Oh, there's something orange on the minimap that direction. Alright, we're going to take Thunderhoofs, and even though I had hoped to just keep this episode really simple with the building of things, looks like we're going on a bit of an adventure, so bear with me here, folks. Let's see if we can find some lava. Oh, perfect. Excellent work, Thunderhoofs. You stay right there. Please don't go in there. We're going to pour some water down. Excellent. And now we have our lava. I'm gonna try to just poke down there and get a few pieces. There we go. So I went ahead and whoa. Howdy there. Oh. Okay, well that was a bit tragic. Not the best way to start a series with the death of a pig, but I went ahead and collected 4 pieces instead of just 3, even though we only needed Thunderhoofs? Where did my horse go? Thunderhoofs. Thunderhoofs? What on earth are you doing up there? This is not the way to behave. We're in the middle of a video. Get down from there. Thunderhoofs, get down from up there. What are you doing? Come here. Jeez, you crazy horse. So like I said, I went ahead and collected 4 pieces even though we only needed 3. And that is because we're going to use one of them. Well, I'll show you. It's going to be a lot cooler when I show you anyway. There we go. Alright, Thunderhoofs, you stay there. Have I built a gate? There's no gate. How am I supposed to get out of this place? This wasn't well thought out, was it? I guess it was just made to keep you inside, and that's it's doing that. It's doing its job well enough. So, let's get over here and let's finally build this thing. So, we've got our stone on the edges, our obsidian to either side, and we put our philosopher's stone in the center, and then we correct the recipe because I've done it wrong. There we go. Transmutation table, not tablet, and pull all this stuff out. And as you see, we get to keep our philosopher's stone. It doesn't actually use it up in the recipe. So this little guy is pretty small, and in fact, I don't want to waste space with it. Let's go ahead and get rid of this other crafting table we've got, and this is going to leave a pretty ugly hole into the back of the world, but that's fine. We'll place it up there. Look at that. Transmutation table. Now, what does this guy do? Well, it actually stores EMC, so if we put, let's say, some brick in there, boom, you'll see it's got 1 EMC. It also says learned, meaning it has learned the recipe for stone brick, meaning we can get more out. So let's say we just take a piece of glowstone, which has 384 EMC to it. Boom, we now have 385, and we can get 385 stone bricks now, which is pretty crazy. We're gonna put all those back in there though. See, now you understand why I suggest you hold on to all of your stone in these barrels, because once you finally have the materials to build a transmutation table, you can come over here, throw them all in there, look at all the EMC we've got from them. So it's not a lot when you compare it to something like a piece of glowstone, but that is 773 EMC you wouldn't have otherwise. Now you may remember I also grabbed an extra piece of obsidian while we were out there. We can throw it in there, and now at any time we can get more obsidian if we need it. This thing will hold an infinite number of recipes. I do suggest if you update the pack though, if at any point you have to update the pack, you go ahead and you back up your information, because occasionally an update will wipe this thing, and there's nothing worse than realizing you've lost all your EMC and all of the learned items, so just be careful with that. We're gonna go ahead and throw some more things in there. Crafting tables have, oh look at that bucket of water, we can come back and get that if we need to. Now I noticed that unfortunately limestone does not. We could assign it ourselves, but we're not going to do that. I feel like it's probably best to let the pack creators decide how they want to do that. What does have an EMC value though? Stairs do, glass does, all of this stuff pretty much. Let's just throw it all in there, to heck with it, right? Look at that, 6,000 EMC now, that's pretty good. And we can come back and get any of these items we need them. So if we're building something that requires a lot of glass, we can get a heck of a lot of glass. Actually, over 6,000 pieces right now. So the transmutation table, not a tablet. The Transmutation Table, as you can see, is a really useful tool. Early game, late game, as soon as you can build one of these, build it. It's going to be great. It's going to help you out a lot. If I'd had one of these during the building of this house, well, it would have gone by a lot faster, and I would have used so much coal creating some stone bricks. So, yeah, there is that. So like I said, this episode's going to be pretty short and it isn't going to cover a lot of technical things. I've showed you guys 3 things that I think are going to help you out a lot during early game. I showed you the project table, the barrels, the transmutation table. There's one more thing we're going to look at before we go, and that's going to be a better way to mine. So as you mine, you're going to find things like sapphire and rubies. These guys are extremely useful when mining because they can be built into tools. Like so. You can get yourself a ruby pickaxe. I'm not going to build it right now because I don't need it. And the best thing about these sort of rubies, these sort of pickaxes, is that they're as fast as diamond, but they only have the durability of, let's say, iron. However, there's so many of these type of resources, so many rubies, so many sapphires. You can just build a whole bunch of really fast, really great pickaxes and just mine to your heart's content. And that's it for today's episode. Next time we come back, we're going to be looking at a mod that a lot of you have probably never seen before. So we definitely have Industrial Craft 2, and we're going to be getting into that in episode 3. But I want to show you a different mod, one that I like a little bit more before we jump into Industrial Craft. So I hope you guys will join me next time for that. It's going to be really cool, and I'll see you later. Bye! Okay, we got to stay on our feet and keep moving. Come on, buddy. Buttercup, you're coming with me on this mission, aren't you? Yeah, come on, let's go. Let's go! Buttercup, you gotta come with me. I'm not leaving here without you. Go outside. Go out the door. Let's go on our adventure! As the sun sets? Buttercup, we've made a bad decision. Let's go inside and take a nap, and then we'll do this in the morning.